You don't need a crown to rule. But if you think like a peasant, don't be surprised when life treats you like one. Because the truth is, life doesn't hand out thrones. It crushes the weak and ignores the passive. If you're waiting for a moment to feel ready, if you're sitting in silence hoping someone will rescue you, you're already losing. Kings don't wait for permission. They take it. They seize it. They build their empire one brutal truth at a time. You say you're broke, but are you broken? Because being broke is temporary. Being broken, that's a choice. And the difference between a king and a peasant has never been about money. It's about mindset. Most men walking around today, they're mentally bankrupt, soft, scattered, controlled by emotions, ruled by lust, distracted by every shiny thing that comes their way. And when life hits them, they fold like cheap paper. Most men are followers, not because they were born that way, but because they never learned how to lead themselves. They've never looked in the mirror and declared war on the version of themselves that plays small. They blame the world, their childhood, their job, their girlfriend. But they never take the throne that belongs to them, the throne of their own mind. That's where real kings rule from. The world doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care that you're tired, broke, or overwhelmed. It only respects one thing: results. If you're not producing, if you're not creating, if you're not leading, you're invisible. And invisibility is death for a man. A man without direction is a man the world forgets. But today that ends. This video isn't motivation. It's ammunition. I'm not here to make you feel good. I'm here to wake you up. This is your blueprint to break free, to build discipline, command respect, master your life, and think like a king, even if you're sleeping on a mattress on the floor. Because real power is not given. It's taken. It's earned. Robert Greene said it. And every great man has lived it. Welcome to the channel. If you're ready to stop begging for life to change and start commanding it, hit that like button, share this with a brother who needs it, and subscribe. Let's rebuild the man you were born to be. You've heard it before. A king is born, not made. But that's a lie. Too many men today are lost, passive, broken spirit before they're even broken pocket. You're confused, wandering through life, constantly being tossed around by the whims of your emotions, and still thinking one day things will just magically fall into place. Newsflash, they won't. The only thing that's going to fall into place is your broken ego when life hits you hard enough. You've been conditioned to confuse weakness with sensitivity, confusion with creativity, and distraction with ambition. Society has turned you into a passive consumer, a follower of trends, rather than a leader of your own destiny. You're taught that if you feel lost, it's okay to wallow in it. That if you're confused, it's a sign of brilliance. That if you don't have a clear purpose, just sit tight, it'll all make sense eventually. But let me tell you something. No one is coming to save you. Kings aren't born, they're built. Built through war. Internal war. The war against laziness, self-doubt, insecurity, and weakness. You don't think like a king by default. You earn that mindset through relentless struggle. And yes, I'm talking about struggle. The fight to wake up every day when you'd rather stay in bed. The fight to push through resistance, to confront your weaknesses, to make decisions when fear wants to paralyze you. The kings of this world were made by slaying their own demons. If you're not fighting your demons, you're already losing the battle. Now, let's break this illusion wide open. Social media loves to glorify the finished product, the money, the status, the power, the women. But I'll let you in on a secret. The man behind all of it? He's built through struggle, not luxury. Those overnight success stories you see? They're a lie. That man didn't wake up one morning with a fat bank account and a perfect life. No, he woke up 1,000 times in the trenches, fighting, failing, getting back up, and grinding until the success was inevitable. The rich and famous aren't blessed. They didn't get handed a golden spoon. What they did was master themselves. They decided that comfort and mediocrity were their enemies and went to war against them. They sacrificed their nights, their weekends, and their pride to be who they are now. And let me make it clear, the struggle is where the power is. If you're not struggling, you're not growing. That's why this video matters. Because I'm not here to talk about what's easy. I'm not going to tell you how to coast through life. I'm here to show you how to reprogram your mind, to break free from the mental shackles that keep you stuck. I'm here to resurrect your masculine frame, to reignite that fire in you that makes you take charge of your life, your purpose, your destiny. The mission of this video is simple. It's to give you the clarity you're lacking, to cut through the confusion and lay down a path. No, a war plan that you can follow to start building your life like a king. Even if your bank account says you're broke, even if you're doubting your worth right now, this is the blueprint to go from broke boy to king energy. Because here's the bottom line. You can be broke, but you don't have to stay broke. It's not about your circumstances. It's about your mindset. It's about the decisions you make today, the actions you take, and the relentless pursuit of growth that shapes your future. The tools you'll get here won't just change your financial situation. They'll change your life, your relationships, and your sense of self-worth. So buckle up. This journey isn't for the weak. If you're ready to stop pretending you're fine, to stop playing small, and to start thinking, acting, and living like the man you were always meant to be, then this is your moment. Let's get to work. Let's get real for a second. You can't think like a king if you live like a clown. It's that simple. You've been treating your life like a joke, letting distractions, laziness, and excuses run the show. Your mind is your palace, or it's your prison. And most of you, you've built a prison, lock yourself in, and toss the key away. Why? Because you're comfortable in your chaos. You'd rather scroll through endless feeds on your phone, comparing yourself to others, wasting hours that you'll never get back, than actually take control of your life. That's the problem. You're waiting for something to change, but you're not doing anything to make it happen. You're not tired, my friend. You're undisciplined. You're not stuck. You're stagnant. You don't need motivation. You need to stop being soft. Real men don't need motivation to do what they have to do. They wake up, do what needs to be done, and move forward. They don't make excuses. They don't whine about how hard life is. They act. The rest of you, you're waiting for the world to give you a reason to succeed. Newsflash, life doesn't work like that. A king doesn't cry to his queen about his kingdom. He handles it. And most of you are stuck in the mindset of a peasant. Every time life knocks you down, you run to your girlfriend, your friends, or your family and tell them about your problems, hoping for sympathy. But a real man knows that the world doesn't care about your complaints. They don't care about your excuses, and they definitely don't care about your failures. The world respects one thing: results. And you're too busy making excuses to create any. Let me hit you with a few hard truths. You skip workouts, but binge watch shows. You complain about being broke, but you won't read a single book on how to make money. You talk about wanting respect from women, but you can't even look yourself in the mirror without feeling disgusted. You're embarrassed by the man staring back at you, but you do nothing to change it. You're living in a perpetual cycle of self-deception. But here's the reality. You're not going to become a king by watching other people succeed. You need to stop sitting in the sidelines, acting like your life is happening to you. It's not. You're making it happen, or you're allowing it to fall apart. And let's talk about your self-worth. How can you expect others to respect you when you can't even respect yourself? If you're not proud of who you are and what you've built, how do you expect anyone else to be? You want to be treated like royalty, but you're living like a peasant. You're looking for external validation to fill the empty space inside you. But that validation is hollow because it's not backed by action. The only real validation comes when you know you're doing everything in your power to level up. You've been taught to play it safe. You've been conditioned to settle for mediocrity. You're told that it's okay to be average, that being good enough is fine. But listen up, good enough is never enough. A king never settles, and you shouldn't either. You want respect, success, and power? Then stop acting like you're just getting by. Stop believing that being okay is enough to earn what you desire. You got to go beyond that. You got to demand more of yourself than anyone else ever will. That means pushing through the discomfort, the doubt, and the fear. It means stepping up when everyone else is too scared to act. Here's the harshest truth. You are not your circumstances. You are the sum of the decisions you've made and the decisions you keep making. You can't blame your past, your parents, or your environment for where you are right now. Kings don't sit around blaming the world for their position. They take responsibility for everything, good and bad. They recognize that their past may have shaped them, but it doesn't define them. The king's mindset says, I own this. You, on the other hand, keep playing the victim card, hoping life will hand you a free pass. Robert Greene said, "He who cannot command himself must obey others." Think about that for a second. If you can't control your own actions, if you can't discipline yourself to get up and do what needs to be done, then you'll never be able to lead anyone else. Not a woman, not a team, not even yourself. You're letting your emotions, your comfort, and your laziness dictate your life. You're at the mercy of your impulses, your fears, and your vices. And as long as you keep living like that, you'll never lead anyone. You'll always be waiting for someone else to tell you what to do, what to think, and how to feel. But guess what? That's not how kings live. It's time to wake up. It's time to get uncomfortable. The excuses stop today. The whining ends now. You either lead your life, or you become a servant to your weaknesses. The choice is yours. You're not going to get there by wishing for it. You get there by putting in the work, by conquering the battles inside your mind, by embracing the discomfort of growth, and by doing what 99% of men won't do. Taking full responsibility for your actions and demanding more from yourself every single day. The truth is, you're capable of so much more than you realize. But as long as you stay comfortable in your mediocrity, you'll stay stuck. The longer you refuse to rise above your struggles, the longer you'll be trapped in this cycle. You're not stuck. You're just too afraid to fight your way out. But here's the reality check. If you want to be great, if you want to be a king, you have to stop acting like a peasant. You have to stop waiting for life to hand you anything. You take it, you earn it, and you start by commanding yourself first. Now that we've torn down the lies and exposed the weaknesses, let's build something solid. It's time to take action. Action is the bridge between the life you have and the life you want. You can't keep talking about how much you want to change if you're not willing to do the work. The steps I'm about to give you will be uncomfortable. They'll push you. But if you truly want to think and live like a king, you need to step up. Step 1. Rule your mind. First things first, rule your mind. Kings don't let their thoughts rule them. They command their thoughts. The mind is where everything starts. If you don't control your mental space, you'll be at the mercy of every distraction, every negative thought, and every moment of weakness. The first thing you need to do is journal. Yeah, it sounds simple, but don't dismiss it. Journaling is a powerful tool that lets you take inventory of your thoughts, fears, and goals. It forces you to confront your mental garbage. Write every single day, even if it's just for 5 minutes. What are you grateful for? What do you want to accomplish? What's holding you back? This isn't just therapy, it's strategy. When you write, you clarify your mind. You focus it. You take control. Next, you need to meditate. I know. Some of you are thinking meditation is for hippies. But listen to me. You're not a king if you can't sit in stillness with your own thoughts. Meditation trains you to separate your thoughts from your emotions. It lets you observe your mind like a general observes his battlefield, carefully, strategically. By meditating, you give yourself space to decide how to respond, instead of reacting impulsively to life's chaos. Then, start reading, especially books that challenge your way of thinking. Knowledge is a weapon. Don't waste your time with fluff. Get into books about strategy, leadership, history, or philosophy. The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. The Art of War by Sun Tzu. These aren't just books. They're blueprints for mastering your life. A king isn't someone who just reacts to circumstances. He plans, he anticipates, and he builds a mind that's as sharp as a sword. Start reading every day. Make it a habit. Filter your thoughts like a king filters his advisors. Reject what doesn't serve you and embrace what sharpens your edge. You need to stop reacting to life. Reacting is for peasants. Kings respond. When something hits you, whether it's an opportunity or a setback, you need to think before you act. The reactive man is a slave to his emotions. The responsive man is the master of his reality. Start taking a moment before you respond to anything, whether it's a text, a conversation, or an emotional trigger. Pause, think, and then respond with strategy. Step 2. Make money strategically. Now let's talk about making money. Kings are known for their power, and power is rooted in resources. But the truth is, wealth isn't about flash. It's about freedom. It's about being able to make choices because you control the resources in your life, not the other way around. Start a side hustle. Stop waiting for the perfect time, the perfect idea, or the perfect circumstances. The side hustle is where it all begins. Find something that you're good at, something you can offer the world. Whether it's graphic design, writing, photography, or fitness coaching, there's always a way to monetize your skill. Start small, but start now. The sooner you start, the sooner you can scale. You don't have to be a millionaire overnight. But what you can do is learn a valuable skill that people are willing to pay for. Whether it's learning coding, mastering a language, or becoming an expert in a field, do it. Don't be the man who sits around complaining that you don't have money. Take responsibility. It's time to start building your wealth. Sell your service to the world. If you can provide value, you will be paid for it. Period. Stop thinking like a worker. Kings control their resources. They aren't waiting for someone to give them a paycheck. They create their own wealth. But that starts by changing the way you think about money. Stop being scared of it. Start understanding it. Learn how to invest, save, and build assets that work for you. Learn how to make money while you sleep. And once you start, you'll realize that wealth isn't just about having a lot of money. It's about building a life where you are free to live on your terms. Step 3, discipline your body. Now let's talk about your body. You can't expect to lead anyone, especially not yourself, if your body isn't disciplined. You want to have power? Move daily. Don't give me the excuse that you're too busy. If you can't make time for your body, then you can't make time for your success. Kings are warriors, and warriors train every day. You don't need a gym membership or fancy equipment. All you need is the discipline to get moving. Whether it's 20 push-ups in the morning, a 10-minute walk, or a full workout routine, make it a non-negotiable part of your day. Strong body, strong message. Your body is a reflection of your willpower. If you're undisciplined with your physical health, you'll be undisciplined in every other area of your life. Kings are not weaklings. They lead by example. They don't just tell their soldiers to fight. They fight with them. They don't expect their teams to train while they sit on the sidelines. They set the standard. So, ask yourself, are you setting the standard with your body? Or are you letting your body drag you down? Get up, move, train, strengthen your body, and it will serve you for life. Step 4, eat like a king. Your body is the vessel that carries your mind, your energy, and your ambitions. If you're feeding it processed trash, you're not just sabotaging your body, you're sabotaging your life. Eat real fuel. Stop feeding yourself garbage that leaves you sluggish, unmotivated, and unhealthy. If you want to think clearly, perform at your peak, and have the energy to dominate the day, your body needs the right fuel. Eliminate processed foods from your diet. No more fast food, no more sugar-laden snacks. Start eating real food. Meats, vegetables, fruits, nuts, and whole grains. Your food feeds your focus. If you eat like a king, you'll feel like a king. It's that simple. If you eat like a slave, you'll feel like one. Respect your body, and it will return the favor. Your energy levels will skyrocket, your mental clarity will improve, and you'll start seeing results in every area of your life. Your body is a temple. Treat it like one. You wouldn't put cheap fuel in a high-performance car, would you? So why are you doing it to yourself? You need to make the switch to clean, nutritious food that fuels your body and mind. This isn't about dieting, it's about respect. Respect for your body, for your life, and for the person you're becoming. Step 5, solve one problem daily. Finally, let's talk about solving problems. One victory at a time. Most of you get overwhelmed by the big picture, the mountain of tasks that lie ahead. You look at everything you have to do, and you freeze. You need to stop trying to conquer everything all at once. Start small. Break it down. Make your to-do list your battlefield. Pick one problem every day and tackle it. If it's fixing your finances, making a call, or doing a hard task you've been avoiding, do it. Every small victory is a step towards your ultimate goal. A king doesn't panic. He plans, then executes. Sun Tzu. Plan your day. Prioritize your tasks. Then execute with precision. Don't wait for the perfect time. The perfect time is now. Focus on one thing every single day, and over time, you'll find that you've accumulated dozens of small wins. This is how kings are made. Not through grand gestures, but through the consistent accumulation of discipline and focus. Step by step, problem by problem, you'll begin to see your life transform. If you can commit to this process, if you can make these 5 steps your daily reality, you'll go from broke boy to king mindset. It's not going to happen overnight. But if you stay consistent, if you stay disciplined, if you keep attacking one problem at a time, you will get there. We've talked about the hard truths, we've broken down the actionable steps, and now, let's build the foundation of your identity. This is where the rubber meets the road. It's one thing to understand the principles of success, but it's another thing to live them day in and day out. Masculine habits aren't something you turn on and off. They're your way of life. If you want to step into the role of a king, you need to embody these habits consistently. It's not about making temporary changes. It's about transforming who you are from the inside out. 1. Emotional mastery. Let's start with emotional mastery. A real man doesn't let his emotions control him. He controls his emotions. If you're always reacting emotionally to every little thing, then you're just a puppet to your feelings. That's not leadership. You cannot be a king if you're always a slave to your emotions. Don't suppress your feelings, but don't let them explode either. The key is control. Respond with direction, not drama. It's easy to fall into the trap of getting angry, frustrated, or upset, but emotional outbursts show weakness, not strength. Real men take a step back, assess the situation, and respond in a calculated manner. This is what separates the men who get things done from the ones who just complain. A king doesn't have time for emotional chaos. His mind is too sharp, his focus too clear. Instead of letting your emotions dictate your actions, you need to channel that energy into something productive. Whether it's frustration, anger, or excitement, take those emotions and use them to drive you toward your goals. Let your emotions fuel your success, but don't let them control your behavior. If you can master your emotions, you can master your life. 2. Delayed gratification. Next, we need to talk about delayed gratification. The modern world has turned us into dopamine junkies. Social media, video games, fast food, everything around you is designed to give you instant pleasure, instant satisfaction. But kings don't chase instant pleasure. They understand that true power comes from the ability to delay gratification. The average man wants a quick fix. He wants the instant reward, the short-term pleasure, the quick high. But this is a trap. If you want to build real power, you need to be able to wait. The ability to delay gratification is what separates men who build legacies from those who live for today and fall into oblivion tomorrow. Every time you resist the urge for immediate pleasure, you strengthen your willpower and discipline. This means choosing long-term rewards over short-term pleasure. It means staying up late to finish that project instead of binging on Netflix. It means passing on the quick fix in favor of the lasting success that comes from hard work, sacrifice, and focus. Remember this: what's easy won't last. What's hard is what makes you a king. 3. Financial command. Let's talk about financial command. If you're a king, you know exactly where your money is coming from and where it's going. You don't live paycheck to paycheck, and you certainly don't rely on others to bail you out. You are the commander of your financial resources. Start by knowing what's coming in. Track every dollar. Every cent matters. Know where your income is coming from and make sure it's aligned with your goals. But just as important, know what's going out. Stop buying status. Those flashy clothes, the expensive cars, and the luxury items don't make you a king. They just make you look like a fool. Instead of spending on status symbols, invest in assets, education, and opportunities that will bring you real wealth. Financial command isn't just about saving money. It's about making smart moves, being strategic, and having a plan. Kings don't rely on luck to make money. They create wealth with intention and discipline. Start by eliminating wasteful spending. Stop chasing the approval of others. Build a stable foundation and let your wealth grow from that. If you want real power, you need to control your money, not let it control you. 4. Physical presence. Now let's talk about physical presence. The way you carry yourself speaks volumes before you even say a word. A king doesn't slouch. He doesn't shuffle his feet or look down when he walks into a room. His presence commands respect because he carries himself with authority. Lift heavy, train hard, move with purpose. You want to be noticed? Start with your posture. The way you stand, the way you walk, the way you look others in the eye. This is what defines your physical presence. A strong, confident man doesn't need to shout for attention. His presence is felt by everyone around him. But physical presence isn't just about how you look. It's about how you feel in your own skin. Kings are warriors. Their bodies are their weapons. Your body is a reflection of your strength, your discipline, and your willpower. If you don't take care of it, you're sending the message that you don't respect yourself. You can't be a king if your body betrays you. Lift heavy, train your body, and carry yourself with the confidence that only comes from knowing you are physically capable. 5. Strategic thinking. A king doesn't act without strategy. He thinks long-term. Think beyond the next move. Every decision, every step is calculated. A king doesn't chase after fleeting victories. He sets himself up for success over the long haul. Strategic thinking means looking at the bigger picture. It means anticipating problems before they arise and setting traps for your goals. You don't just act on impulse. You plan ahead. A lion doesn't chase mice. A lion waits, observes, and then strikes when the time is right. This is the mentality you need. You need to anticipate the challenges you'll face. Plan for the worst, but always expect the best. Don't wait for things to happen to you. Make them happen. Think about your long-term vision and take the steps that will lead you there. Every move you make should be deliberate, every decision strategic. Plan today, conquer tomorrow. 6. Ruthless standards. Finally, we need to talk about ruthless standards. Kings don't lower their standards to meet the world. They raise the world to meet their standards. Your standards are the foundation of your life. If you accept mediocrity, that's all you'll ever have. But if you demand excellence from yourself and everyone around you, you'll live a life of greatness. Set your standards high. Live by them. Don't compromise on what you know you deserve. You're the only one responsible for how you live your life. And if you don't hold yourself to the highest standards, then don't expect anyone else to. Kings don't settle. They know what they want, and they make it happen. And here's the truth. No woman respects a man who doesn't respect himself. If you don't demand excellence from yourself, you can't expect others to respect you. This applies to every area of your life. Your health, your relationships, your career. Your standards set the tone for everything. When you raise your standards, the world has no choice but to follow suit. Now that we've covered the habits and mindsets that will transform your life, it's time to shift gears and discuss one of the most powerful aspects of masculinity: thinking like a king, even when you have nothing to your name. Too many men think that they need wealth, status, or connections to rise above the noise. But that's simply not true. A king isn't defined by his wealth. He's defined by his mindset. It's time to stop using your financial situation as an excuse. If you think being a king is about castles, crowns, and cars, you're missing the point. Being a king is about composure, confidence, and control. It's about the way you carry yourself, regardless of the zeros in your bank account. When you walk into a room, do you slouch? Do you shrink? Or do you hold your head high, stand tall, and move like you own the place? You see, kings don't wait for permission, they take command. Your royal frame isn't something that requires money. It requires belief in yourself. It requires the unshakable confidence that you deserve to be in the room, no matter how much you're currently earning or how much you've accomplished. Walk into every room like you own it. Even if your wallet says otherwise, your presence will demand attention. You need to start seeing yourself as royalty, even when no one else does. The way you see yourself will dictate how the world sees you. If you see yourself as a king, the world will eventually treat you like one. This confidence isn't about arrogance. It's about knowing your worth and carrying that energy into everything you do. This is conviction over currency. Too many men think that if they don't have money, they don't have value. But let me make this clear. Your belief in yourself is worth more than your bank balance. The most successful men on this planet didn't start with wealth. They started with the belief that they could create it. Conviction, not currency, drives success. Women follow belief, not balance sheets. You don't need to be rich to be attractive. You need to be confident in who you are and what you're doing. Women aren't looking for a man who has everything. They're looking for a man who is going somewhere, who is progressing towards something bigger than himself. Women don't love potential, they love progress. They want to see that you're moving forward, that you're working on something. Even if you're broke today, you can have the power of a king if you show the conviction of a king. Similarly, friends respect consistency, not income. Your friends will admire you not for what you can buy, but for the fact that you show up day in and day out. You do what you say you'll do. You're consistent. They respect your character more than your financial standing. When you build that kind of trust and integrity, the world starts to take notice. Your mindset, your focus, and your consistency become the foundation of your influence. Your mindset will create your reality. That's the bottom line. If you think like a king, you will start living like one. It all begins in your mind. You don't need riches to cultivate a king's mindset. You don't need a mansion to think like a king. You need the courage to see yourself as worthy of greatness, regardless of your external circumstances. You need to develop the belief that you're meant for more, and that belief will drive everything you do. King energy defined. So, let's break it down. What does it mean to think like a king, even when you're broke? It means you own your space. You don't shrink in the face of challenges, and you don't let life's circumstances dictate your energy. When you walk into a room, people notice. When you speak, your words carry weight. You speak with clarity, you move with purpose. Your actions aren't random. They are calculated, deliberate, and executed with intention. You don't stumble through life, you march with purpose. A king doesn't chase. Opportunities orbit him. Kings don't beg for attention. They don't chase after women. They don't beg for respect. Respect and opportunity come to them because of the energy they radiate. When you embody a king's mindset, opportunities find you. You don't go looking for them. They come straight to you. That's the power of owning your energy, of believing in yourself with an unwavering conviction. And let's talk about how this mindset changes everything. A king's mindset attracts loyalty. People want to be around men who are driven by purpose and passion. They gravitate toward men who know what they want and are committed to getting it. When you think like a king, you create a magnetic aura. People follow energy. If your energy is low, if you walk through life with doubt, fear, and insecurity, people will sense that. They'll avoid you. But when you carry yourself with strength, clarity, and conviction, the right people will come into your life. This mindset isn't just about attracting wealth or respect. It's about attracting the right opportunities. Too many men waste their lives waiting for the perfect moment to act. But kings don't wait. They create their own moments. The more you believe in your worth, the more the world will reflect that back at you. The world will bend to your will when you approach it with the mindset of a king. So, don't let your circumstances define you. Don't let your lack of money, your current struggles, or your past failures determine your future. Your mindset is your greatest asset. If you choose to think like a king, to believe in your own power, you'll start attracting the people, the opportunities, and the wealth you need to rise. A king doesn't wait for permission. He steps up, takes action, and commands his future. He creates his legacy with the conviction that he is worthy of greatness. Even when he's broke, even when the world doesn't see his potential yet, he moves with purpose and confidence, knowing that everything he wants is on its way. Because he's earned it with his mindset, it's time to start thinking like the king you were always meant to be. Your wallet may be empty right now, but your mind is limitless. Harness that power. Own your space, own your energy, and start moving like the king you are. So far, we've laid the foundation for what it takes to think like a king, even if you're broke. But here's the hard truth you need to hear. If you're not building, you're rotting. There is no middle ground. Life doesn't wait for you to get your act together. Every minute you sit idle, every day you waste, every moment you spend avoiding the discomfort of hard work, it's not just wasted time, it's a step backward. Inaction isn't neutral. It's not just taking a break or relaxing. Inaction is decay. The world doesn't respect the passive. Life doesn't reward people who sit around, waiting for things to change. It rewards those who get up, take control, and make things happen. Every day you wait is a day you lose to complacency. And eventually, that complacency becomes a trap. You get stuck. You stop growing, and slowly, without realizing it, you begin to rot from the inside out. If you fail to lead yourself, you will become a servant to your urges, your boss, your girlfriend, your fears. You'll be constantly chasing fleeting pleasures, giving in to distractions, and allowing external circumstances to dictate your actions. The world will control you, and you will have no power over it. You'll be a slave to your circumstances. And here's the worst part. When you look in a mirror, you won't recognize the man staring back at you. You'll resent him. You'll hate him. You'll wish you had taken action when you had the chance. When you let your fears, laziness, or insecurities dictate your life, you lose your sense of self. A man who doesn't lead himself ends up following anyone who promises comfort. Think about that for a second. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. The moment you start chasing comfort, whether it's in relationships, work, or self-image, is the moment you stop leading yourself. You'll start accepting the crumbs others give you, instead of creating your own feast. You'll settle for mediocrity, and eventually, that will become your life. Comfort will keep you chained to the same cycle, unable to break free and reach your full potential. This is the reality for so many men today. They follow the easy path, the path of least resistance. They avoid pain, avoid discomfort, avoid facing their weaknesses. But in doing so, they don't realize they're digging their own grave. The greatest tragedy in life is not failure, it's complacency. When you stop fighting for your growth, when you let your dreams fade, when you stop challenging yourself, you begin to decay. You become a shadow of who you could have been. And that's not something any man should tolerate. But here's the truth that can set you free. You don't need millions to start thinking like a king. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment, for all the pieces to fall into place, or for the stars to align. You need courage, clarity, and consistency. That's what separates men who rise from men who rot. Courage to face the hard truths, clarity to see what needs to change, and consistency to put in the work day after day, even when it gets tough. This isn't about ego, it's about empire. This isn't about looking good on the outside or collecting trophies to impress others. It's about building a life that you can be proud of. It's about ruling your own world, no matter where you start from. The crown will come later, but you have to build the empire first. The empire starts in your mind, in the way you move through the world. You have to earn the title of king, day by day, decision by decision. So now's the time. This is the moment to make your choice. Are you going to continue to live like a slave to your circumstances, letting life push you around? Or are you going to take control, stand tall, and start thinking like the king you were always meant to be? The power is yours. It always has been, and it's time you took it. If you're ready to stop making excuses, to stop being passive, to stop allowing life to run over you, then it's time to act. Comment below, I lead my life. Let the world know you're done being a follower. Like the video if you're done waiting for life to change. And most importantly, subscribe if you're ready to rise. If you're ready to start building your empire and becoming the man you were always meant to be. Remember, a king's power starts where excuses end. So, I challenge you right now. End them. Make the decision to take control, to stop wasting time, and to start living with purpose. The world is waiting for you to step into your greatness. It's time to own your crown.